Hey there, it's Brittany Chavers, and I'm back today with a simple stringing project with a little twist. We're going to hang this beautiful geode pendant. It's enormous, from Jesse James Beads, and we're going to do it featuring some mixes from Jesse James Beads. I have a ice cream cookie dough mini bead mix. Wonderful natural colors in there that set off this beautiful pendant. I also have a mini mix in Swiss chard, so we're gonna get some teal in there. And then I brought out some seed beads in black, some thunder polish beads in gold. This is the 3x2 size roundel. And I have some 22 gauge wire and some silver silk today. I don't know if we're going to be putting a clasp on this. We'll get to that at the end. I also am going to make a pair of earrings featuring these cute little feather tassels. So we'll get to that after we finish the necklace. Today it's really going to be a simple strung project. However, we're going to have a fun way to hang the pendant on the necklace instead of just stringing it on. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of pour out my beads and sort them so I know what I have. And now that I have my beads sorted, I already know that I'm not going to use these little miracle beads or the heart beads, so I'm going to take those off the board. I might use most of these, but I know I'm not going to use these either. And I'm going to save these smaller rondelles for my earrings, so I'm going to put those off to the side. This mix also came with some cage beads. The ice cream mini mix came with some cage beads. I'm going to put those to the side because we're going to be using that in the earring as well. And then I'm just going to decide what my design will be. So I obviously want my geode to hang in the middle of the necklace, and I'm going to show you a cute little way to just kind of put this on center stage even more, even though it's a huge pendant. But then leading up to the pendant, I want to have a focal bead. So I'm going to choose one of these larger crystal rondelles and then 2 of the copper bead caps. So that's going to be leading down to my pendant. And then I'm just going to kind of design from there. I really like these little black beads, and it's going to tie in our seed beads. So I'm going to put 3 leading up to our crystal on either side. And once I start stringing, you'll understand what I'm doing a little bit better. And then I'm loving these crystal rondelle spacers. We're going to use gold and copper in this design today. So I'm going to go ahead and put a crystal rondelle spacer, and then one of these nice howlite beads, and then another crystal rondelle spacer, and then bring in my last 2 black rondelles. Then I want to keep going with my sparkle, so I have some of these crystal ball spacers. So I'm going to put one over there, one right here, and then this is where I'm going to start to bring in the Swiss chard mix. I have some bead caps, and then these really pretty coin beads. Look at the sparkle in there. And I'm going to put a bead cap on either side of a crystal bead. Then I'm going to repeat with my crystal ball bead. And then I'm going to bring a little bit more black back into this part of the necklace by putting our black cube crystals back here. And then I'm going to put some more howlite, 2 of the gold crystal rondelle spacers from the Swiss chard mix. Trying to evenly space the crystal with the dark beads with spacers, so it's not too heavy or clunky in one spot. Then I'm going to bring in some of these almost an Amazonite colored beads. These are dyed stone, so put that right there. And then another crystal rondelle spacer. Let's go with some pearls. Then I'm going to frame one of these teal beads with some of these potato chip spacers, so one on either side. Then I'm going to bring in some more black, another crystal rondelle spacer, a howlite bead, a crystal rondelle spacer, and then I'm going to put in one on either side, one of these teardrops. And I'm going to start working in my thunder polish beads. Put one back here. So I'll put a thunder polish bead, then a pearl, then I'm going to move in a brown pearl, another thunder polish bead, a pearl, and then a thunder polish bead. And then I'm going to finish off the back, I think, with our silver silk and wire wrapping it on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have some 19 strand bead stringing wire by Beaded in gold. And I'm just going to string one side of my necklace. Now I'm at the halfway point of my necklace. We've gone through our focal bead, and then I'm going to pour out some seed beads, just a few, and I'm going to string all of these on. Once I have all my seed beads, I'm going to string on my pendant. I'm going to pull as much beading wire through as I think I'll need to finish off the rest of my necklace. And then I'm going to come back up through my focal, just the focal, not the other beads. Pull that all the way through like this. And then we have a cute little way to hang our pendant from some seed beads, and it makes it stand out even more. So now I am just going to go ahead and string on the rest of my beads. All right, so my necklace is beaded. I am loving the teal, the black, and the natural neutrals. So what I'm going to do here is attach it to my silver silk. So I want this necklace to be super long. I just love how this pendant looks, and then you can layer this with shorter necklaces. And then what I'm going to do, I'm not going to include a clasp in the back. I'm just going to crimp my beaded wire onto my silver silk. And I'm going to do that by first creating a loop with my silver silk. So I'm going to take my 22 gauge wire. I'm just going to cut a length. Do whatever feels good to you. And I'm going to fold my silver silk like this, as close as I can. So then we create a loop here, okay? And I am just going to take my wire and bend it around, and then we're just going to wire wrap that until it is closed. And I'm just going to go up to where it ends, where the silver silk ends. Now, if you have the silver silk end findings, that's totally a great way to finish this off and get it connected to your necklace. There are so many different ways that you can use this chain. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of wrap around the one piece just a couple times to finish it off. We're going to go ahead and snip. And I'm just going to make sure that this is cohesive down here. And I'm going to snip on the same side, and then we're going to tuck in that wire. Just going to take my pliers and kind of smush. Just making sure that that's in there and we don't have anything that's going to like snag on a shirt or your hair. Pretty good. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I've finished both ends, and I'm just going to take a crimp bead, and then I'm going to string on 11 more of these tiny thunder polish beads. You can use seed beads, you can use any tiny bead. I'm just going to, for this size, string on 11 more. Then once I have all 11 on, I'm going to string through my silver silk and then come back down through my crimp bead and pull taut. And that will create a cute little loop to hang on to our loop of our silver silk. Now I want to make sure before I finish off this necklace that it's, again, loosey-goosey enough that it won't be too stiff when we crimp. And then I'm going to come down a couple of these beads, just gives me good leverage for crimping. And then we'll cut that tail off when we're finished. I will need to cover these with a crimp cover after I finish crimping. So we want to make sure everything is moved down as much as possible. And then we will go ahead and crimp. There may be slack left over, and that's totally fine, it happens. Okay, and then we'll just go in and crimp our little crimp bead with our crimping pliers. Then we'll turn that 90 degrees. And then move on up. I'm going to trim my wire. Make sure you only trim the main wire, not the, I'm sorry, only trim the tail, not the main wire. And then I've already crimped the other side, so I am just going to trim that as well. And we have a wonderful statement necklace. It's very long, but also super glam, super glitzy. And it's pretty neutral, so it should go with a lot of things. I will include some really pretty pictures of it at the end of the video. And then we're gonna make a pair of coordinating earrings. At the beginning of the video, I saved 4 of these crystal rondelles. I have a feather tassel, and I have a smaller cage bead. I also need an earring wire and 2 jump rings. I'm gonna cut a small length of 22 gauge wire, and I'm gonna create a wire wrapped loop. Not too big. Like that. And then I'll grab it with my pliers and just go around a couple times. You can decide how many times you'd like. And then we'll just snip. Then I'm going to pile on my 4 crystals. And I am going to make another wire wrapped loop. So we're making a connector. And then we'll just make sure that we cut off the tail on the same side as we did for the first loop. Okay, we can tuck that in a little bit. There we go. Then I'm going to open up my jump ring. Grab my cage bead, and I want to make sure that I grab a part that's closed. Some of the joints are not closed, so we want to make sure we do it on a closed portion. Slip our jump ring in, slip on our connector, close that up. I'm just gonna kind of pull this back a little bit to make it a little straighter. And then I am going to take my second jump ring, open that up, find the direct opposite of where our jump ring on the top has gone in, come down to the bottom, put it in there, and then hang our little tassel. Close that up, and then we'll just open up our earring wire close it up, and we've got some shoulder duster statement earrings to go with our statement geode necklace. Aren't those fun? And they match perfectly. I am so excited about this set. I am definitely going to be wearing this necklace a lot coming up. I know it's only February, but I'm looking forward to summer. So I will be definitely wearing this with some dresses this summer. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to Jesse James Beads for having me back. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.